What's up guys, it's Aaronitmar. So everyone is super anxious for brand new Smash Ultimate news. It's been over a month since Isabelle was announced, and we've pretty much heard nothing ever since. And so that's why today I want to talk about a theory that we may be getting a Smash Direct which reveals all of the rest of the characters very, very soon. Please listen to the whole theory before you hit the dislike button and leave a comment saying that I'm stupid trash, because I do think that what I'm saying has some kind of logic behind it. So Sakurai pretty famously said that the rate of reveals would be slowing down, but he also said that there are still some reveals to come. What's more is that we are just a month and some change away from the actual release, which means that the game needs to go gold sometime soon. Going gold is when they get the game ready for distribution, so they get the game cases ready, they get all the game cards made, and they have the game loaded onto those game cards, and then they get it shipped to all of the different retailers that are going to be selling the game, so Walmart, GameStop, Target. It also means that they get the game ready to go on to the servers, so they're getting the servers ready, they're also getting the game up for download so that it's ready to be purchased. Going gold basically means that they are in the final stages of the game being sold, and the game development at that point is pretty much done. So we are very closely nearing that time. This also means that the game or footage of the game needs to be submitted to the ESRB, which is the American Video Game Rating Service. So we are in a very crucial time in the Smash Ultimate release window. We are very, very close to its launch. So official guides, ratings, review sites, they're all going to start getting the game, and the potential for leaks is going to be at its highest. Now, if we compare the time that we are currently in to the release of Smash 3DS, this is when the game's biggest leak happened. The famous ESRB leak showed the entire game's roster, and it was done weeks before the game even came out. Now, of course, a lot of people were very critical of the leak. This is where the Shulk is a photoshopped Little Mac meme comes from. And so very many people were, hyper analytical about it. But nonetheless, this was a truly accurate leak. We of course know that now. So it's incredibly possible for this same thing to happen yet again. We are also in about the same time period now as we were in the Smash 3DS days when the ESRB leak happened, which means of course that it is very likely that a leak could happen. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be through the ESRB, but it's just that so many different sources receive information about the game that it's just really likely that someone could get their hands on the game who isn't supposed to, or that someone who is supposed to have the game just feels like leaking it all onto the internet. Now, separately, Sakurai has said that we are going to learn about every single character in the game before the game is released. Now, I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that Nintendo is very, very well aware of leaks and is doing everything in their power not to let them happen. We saw with the accidental leak of Simon through the music track on the Smash site that they've now changed how things are worded on their unlisted YouTube videos so that even if they are accidentally leaked, now they're just numbers instead of the actual full title. So they're well aware and are doing everything they can to try to prevent leaks. Nintendo knows that the hype that comes from Smash announcements is unrivaled, and they know that leaks immediately kill that hype, or at least it prevents people from hitting the peak level of hype. Compare how excited you would be for a fighter seeing the reveal trailer, seeing how the game and the company wanted their character to be represented, versus seeing it in just a simple screenshot. Like, you'd still be excited for it, seeing them in that screenshot or that blurry camera leak picture that everyone seems to take, but it would just make the hype severely lessened. So I don't think that it's unreasonable to expect that in the next 1 to 2 weeks or so, we are probably going to get a brand new Smash-focused Direct that talks about the final few characters that we're going to get in the base roster. They probably want to get ahead of any of the potential leaks and just say, hey, here's everyone in the game, now no one can leak it. And that way, even if people do post screenshots of the game, the ESRB or a game review site or something, who cares? We already know the cast, so it wouldn't be as monumental of an issue. Obviously, still leaking the game would be an issue for Nintendo, and they'd probably want to address it, but it wouldn't ruin the hype for anybody because we would already know because they've already announced it. Now, you could counter this by saying that Nintendo probably wouldn't reveal the whole cast a full month out. But we've never really had a game where we knew the full cast before release, barring maybe Smash 64. I'm not entirely sure on the first game whether we knew all of the characters, but I think even with the secret characters, we didn't know who they were. I mean, you can make a guess, but we didn't know ahead of time. So I think this is really the first game that we are going to know the entire roster. Every other Smash game, Melee, Brawl, Smash 4, and I think Smash 64, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that, they all had secret character unlocks. This is the first game where they've come out in the open and say, yo, here's everyone. You're gonna know before the game comes out. So we're in pretty uncharted waters here. We don't know what Nintendo may or may not do simply because they've never done something like this before. On top of that, it doesn't mean that this would be the final Smash Direct. They could still do another Direct talking about the different game modes, the single player mode that we don't know anything about still, or they could do another 50 fact extravaganza like they did with Smash 4. And then of course there are other Smash Directs that could happen after the game comes out talking about different online content, DLC, different events they might throw for the game, we don't know, but it really seems like Nintendo's focusing a lot more on online game mode stuff. Like we can see that with Splatoon 2, so maybe they'll do the same thing with Smash. But we simply don't know. Like I said, we're just in uncharted waters. Nintendo's never done something like this before, so it kind of just keeps us on our toes. Now, alongside this is kind of a separate theory, but it's sort of tied together as well. But I've seen speculation that Nintendo Live 2018 is going to have the full build of Smash Ultimate for their pre-release tournament on November 3rd. This also sort of syncs up with the timeline that we're talking about in this video. Perhaps a Direct may be just before the event, like earlier in the week maybe, showing off all of the final characters, and then knowing that it's now safe, they can use a complete build with every single character in the game for the tournament. This one is kind of a long shot and it's all speculation, but the theory definitely fits. I've also seen people theorize that maybe we'll have a demo and maybe they'll announce it at this Nintendo Live 2018 tournament. But again, this may just be wishful thinking, and this is probably the least likely thing to happen, simply because we don't know if they're going to give us a demo like they did with Smash 3DS. Nintendo so far has been very big on these physical locations to play the demo. The Best Buys, the college tailgating thing at E3, at different Smash tournaments. They've never really just given it to anybody. They've always had it at a specific place, so I'm thinking that that's probably what they're going to stick with, but I would love to be wrong. So yeah, that is basically the whole theory. Like I said, the last two bits, they're kind of just asides and kind of their own theory, but that kind of sync up with the theory that we're going to know the full cast very, very soon. Because if we know the full cast, then they can release a demo without fear of data mining. They can show it off at a tournament without fear of, we accidentally spoiled a character because it accidentally showed up on screen when it shouldn't have, something like that. It basically sort of just avoids any error on their part on accidentally showing a character they shouldn't have. But I would love to know what you guys think of the main theory. The main theory, of course, being that Nintendo is going to have a Direct very, very soon showing the rest of the cast for Smash. That way, when they give the game out to different sources, to different retailers, gaming sites, things like that, they don't have anything to worry about as far as a leak goes, simply because they've already shown it themselves. So I'd love to know what you guys think of that. Do you think that I'm crazy? Do you think that I'm totally sane? Or do you think that I'm somewhere in between? I'd love to know what you guys think about the theory down in the comments below. And of course, I'd love to know who you think is going to be the final few characters in Smash. Who do you think may come for DLC? I'd love to know all your thoughts about who the actual rest of the roster is. I love seeing, how many people are for a certain character versus are for a different character. It's very interesting to see kind of the back and forth on the kind of voting, I guess, for the different characters, just based on my own little circle of the internet in the comment section. But yeah, that is pretty much everything for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like down below. If you are new on this video and you are brand new to the channel, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. I'm very, very close to 100,000, so every sub helps. But that is it for the video. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time for more Super Smash Bros. Ultimate news. Peace out and have an awesome day.